Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Rabbi.
We are learning Mishna Gittin, Parag Zayin, Chapter 7, Mishnah Hay, Mishnah 5. And today's Mishnah is sponsored by the Garland children in memory of Nishmas, their uncle, Gavriel ben Moshe Nachum. Okay. Hareze, the Neshama Shavan Aliyah. Hareze Gitech Amanashatit Nili Masayim Zuz. A person says to his wife, "This is your get, on the condition that you give me 200 zuz." That's the condition. Okay? She is divorced as long as she gives it. Meaning, this is a condition. You do want, the get works, and the get's going to work right away, but on the condition that you eventually pay me the money. Once you pay me the money, then we know that retroactively, from the point of time that I've given this to you, you're divorced. If for some reason you never give it to, if for some reason it comes out, somehow or another you never give it to me, then we're not divorced. But at the end of the day, to go ahead and be considered divorced, to be able to remarry, it has to be that she does fulfill that condition. Now, what's interesting is, and needs to be pointed out, is that in a previous Mishnah, we also spoke about a case of this is your get. The husband says to the woman, "This is your get if I die," which is understood as this is your get when I die, which means the get takes effect when he dies. And therefore the Mishnah said it's not a good get, because if he's dead, there's no point in the divorce. In this case, he uses a different wording. It doesn't say if. He says al menas, on the condition. And the rule is that when a person says on the condition, he means to say the get can actually be effective now as long as you fulfill the condition. So the difference between saying the word im or saying al menas. Im, if, is another way of saying when. That's when the get is a get. When this happens. But if he says al menas on the condition, then that means that he wants the get to take effect right now when he gives it to her, on the condition that she gives him the 200 zuz. And therefore, once she gives him the 200 zuz, then we know that the get already took effect beforehand, and she's divorced already from that point of time. Now, they bring down here an interesting halacha, which is, however, this does not mean that she may get married right away. Since we do not know if she will in fact give the money, she's forbidden to marry until she actually gives it. Right? We don't know. Maybe at some point she's not going to give it. And if she didn't give it, let's give an example, right? Before she gave it, she died. That means the condition is not going to be met. If the condition is not going to be met, she was never divorced. And if she remarried in between, the guy's in big trouble. So therefore, the point here is that until the condition is fulfilled, she's forbidden to marry. Rather, the fact that she is divorced right away makes a difference in a case where the get was later lost or destroyed before the condition was fulfilled. Meaning, let's say before she gave the 100 zuz, she lost the get. She lost the get. The get, got burned up. So the point is, since the get took effect at the time it was given, and at that time it was in existence, divorce is valid. Meaning the divorce took place when he gave her the get, as long as the condition is going to be met. And once the condition is met, so she was already divorced at that point of time. So even if at the time when she actually gives him the money, the get's gone, she's still divorced, because the divorce already took place beforehand when he gave it to her. So that's the first part of the Mishnah. This is your get on the condition you give me 200 zuz. The halacha is that she is divorced, the titain, but she must make sure to give him the money. She must make sure to fulfill the condition. Next case, let's say he changes the condition a little bit, and he says on a condition that you give me the money from now until 30 days. You got 30 days to give me the money. That's the condition. This is your get. You're divorced with this get, on the condition that you give me the 200 zuz within the next 30 days. If she gives it within the 30 days, she's divorced. And if not, if she misses the 30-day deadline, and then she pays him, too late. She won't be divorced because the condition will not have been fulfilled. Okay. Now, the next part of the Mishnah actually is not a direct continuation of what we just said, but rather it means to include the following case. Here the case is the husband made a condition that the wife must give him a certain item, but she no longer has it. So as Rabbi Tunura said, in this case, the case is he says to her, this is your get on the condition that you give me my coat. Right? She has his coat by him, and she says the get is a get on the condition that you give me my coat back. Okay? And then she says, okay, fine. And she looks for the coat. Gone. No coat. So what happens then? So let's read. So what happens is like that. So we'll read the Mishnah and then we'll say how the Gemara, it actually tells us what the story was. Amr b'Shimon ben Gamliel, Ma'aseh b'Tzaydon be'echad she'amar le'ishtay. There was a story in Sidon by a person who said to his wife, Harei zagitech, this is your get, Amanah shetitni li itztalisi, on the condition that you give me my cloak. V'avda itztalisai, the coat was lost. V'amru chacham, the chachamim said, Titan lo yastalmeha, give him the value. Meaning, even if you can't give the coat, give him the value of the coat. That's enough. That's all he's looking for. So the way that the story is brought down in the Gemara, it goes like this. It goes like it said, meaning you have to understand the fact that it says Amar b'Shimon ben Gamliel said, that typically implies that somebody doesn't agree with that. That there's a disagreement here. So the disagreement went like this. In this case, where again he said, on the condition, give me my coat, and the coat's gone. The Tanakama says that the condition can never be met. He asked for the coat, he wants the coat, and finished. No coat, no get. And Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel was of the opinion that no, he doesn't care about the coat itself. The value of the coat is good enough. And therefore, as long as she gives him the value of the coat, that's a fulfillment of the condition, she can be divorced. So according to the Tanakhama, when he says, I want the coat, the condition that would be a get if you give me my coat, that is going to be a condition that he wants, specifically the coat. That's what he said. That's what he wants. Shimon Gamliel held, no, he's not particular about that. It's enough for him to get back the coat in the sense of, having the coat or its value. That's good enough. So that was a machlokes. That was the argument. And that's what it means in the Mishnah when Rabbi Shimon Gamliel said, the sages said, give her the value. I'm not sure if it's changing the wording exactly in the Mishnah, but Rabbi Shimon Gamliel was of the opinion that it's enough to go ahead and give for her to give him the value of the coat. The Tanakhama, the first opinion, disagreed with that. And at the end of the day, the Baal Tanura says, the halacha is not like Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel. And therefore, if the condition he made was to give me my coat, he wants his coat. And if the coat is lost, there is no get. Have a wonderful day. A good tavach. Shvuah tov.